Hello, I'm Kerry Bloedorn, and welcome back for part 4 of our Hodag Heritage series. Today we'll be talking about, is the Hodag real? Let's find out.
The Hodag might not have ended up being an actual flesh and blood creature, but make no mistake, Hodags are real. The community of Rhinelander has spent the last 100 plus years wrapping its identity around Jean Shepherd's story. Undoubtedly, it has taken on a life of its own and is a multi-million-dollar economic draw to the area. Everywhere you turn in the city of Rhinelander, dubbed the home of the Hodag, you will see the creature's depiction. Businesses don't have to look far for a name, as you'll find
Hodag Express Lube, Hodag Gun and Loan, Hodag Sports Club, Hodag Honda, Hodag Lanes, and the Hodag Store.
The Rhinelander Chamber of Commerce has the largest statue of a Hodag on display in the city at its visitor center on Kemp Street along the banks of the Wisconsin River. They put on the Hodag Home and Lifestyle Show, among other Hodag-themed events.
The Hodag is emblazoned on the high school sign and on many of the sports teams' jerseys. The Hodag swim team takes a caged Hodag to all their meets, and the girls team used the power of the Hodag to bring home a state championship in 2021. Hodag Sports can be followed at HodagSports.com, of course. The Rhinelander High School yearbook, The Hodag, was founded in 1918 and has been printed for over 100 years. The Hodag was adopted as the official high school mascot in materials going back to the 1930s.
The Hodag Country Music Festival, held near Rhinelander, has gone on since 1978 and boasts the longest-running country music festival in history. The 9-day festival draws between 30 and 50,000 people every year and has seen performances from many of the most popular country music legends and chart-topping artists over the years.
Rhinelander is a river city, built around the waters of Boom Lake, a flowage of the Wisconsin River once used as a log boomage for the many sawmills along its banks. On it performs the Hodag water ski team during the picturesque days of the Wisconsin summers. The park they perform in, Hodag Park, displays a Wisconsin historical marker describing the Hodag's history and its importance to the community.
Many Hodag businesses have come and gone over the decades, but none talked about more fondly than the Hodag Bar, which was located on Lincoln Street in Rhinelander and featured a giant Hodag cutout displayed prominently on its rooftop.
That last Hodag was saved and is on display in front of the Logging Museum at Pioneer Park Historical Complex in Rhinelander.
In his time, Jean Shepherd had a large boat constructed which he christened the SS Hodag that he intended to float to the World's Fair in St. Louis. But it wasn't to be, and the poor ship rotted at the moors on Boom Lake. But not before the ship's bell was salvaged and stored in the barn at his home, the Pines. Years later, Rhinelander newspaperman Jack Corey and a sports writer friend of his from nearby Anago would ask to have the bell from Jean's widow, and they would create a famous rivalry football game, the Bell Game, played between the Rhinelander Hodags and the Anago Red Robins, which continues to this day. Many of Rhinelander's emergency service vehicles, including police cars and fire trucks, have Hodags on them. as well as many city installations, boat landings, and municipal vehicles also have Hodags appearing. These are just a few examples of how the Rhinelander community has kept the Hodag alive for over 128 years.